Alright guys, so today I am going to make this video. It's going to be an in-cab view of a Volvo A25F series off-road dump truck. This is an in-cab view. I'm waiting until I get out of the heavy work zone where I can move my phone around and show you guys. So right now we're in the process. The job I'm on now is a 287 acre job site in Pooler, Georgia, right off of Interstate 95, I-95. We're building a bunch of warehouses, doing all the dirt work for that. So first off, I'm going to start on the right hand side and work my way up. You got your cup holder. So you got your park brake, and then over here you have all of your transmission and hydraulic dump controls. Looks just like a car. You have first, second, third, drive, neutral, reverse. And here's for your dump bed right here. That's pull it back to dump up, push it down to go down. When you're getting loaded and when you're unloading, that is your temporary brake. So when you're dumping a load, put her in neutral, hit that, you'll dump. When you get done dumping, you put it in drive, and as soon as you switch gears, that brake comes off. You have your gear lock. So say you're in a tough spot in some mud or something and you want to stay in first gear, you'll put it down in first, you'll hit that, and it'll lock it in first gear. This is your Jake brake button. So you can engage your Jake brake. I also have a Jake brake pedal here. That's just a regular, just somewhere to rest your foot. Brake, gas, ashtray, air conditioning vent. You got your key, hazard lights, just like in a car, heated seats. These trucks have an automatic start or automatic stop switch on them. So once your truck hits idle RPM to where it's idles, it automatically starts a timer. After 90 seconds, so a minute and a half after it's been idling, it'll pop up on the screen, automatic shutdown in 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, it'll automatically shut off. If you flip this up into the stop position, it won't shut off, which is really handy, especially in the cold mornings. Or if you go to use the restroom, flip that up, you can keep your air conditioner, your heater running. So what I'll do is I'll back up, put her in neutral, hit my temp brake right there. So when you have air pressure on the brake, that'll show up, and then there's your temporary brake. And then this switch right here is your automatic rev. It'll rev it up to 1500. So or 16, and then you just pull back and it'll dump it. Back up camera. Alright, you'll flip that down, put her in drive. That park brake comes, or that temp brake comes off. Push that forward, it locks in, so you don't have to hold it. And it'll go all the way down right here on the dash. It'll show you where your bed is at. Now this sensor on the bed that lets it know that it's all the way down is broke. So when it gets all the way down, you have to slam on the brake and come to a stop before it'll go white. And it's red. This part right here will be red. The bed itself will be red on the screen. And you can go up to second gear. It'll go from first into second, and then I think excuse me, I think it'll go up to, I think 17 or 1800 RPM, and you can't go any faster than that. I think you go 8 miles an hour in second gear at 1800. It's a 6-speed transmission, automatic. Now this is an F series, like I said, so this series, A25F series, does not take DEF fluid, diesel exhaust fluid. For all you liberals, that's what DEF means, diesel exhaust fluid. It's keep from rolling coal, clean out your exhaust, so you don't have soot build up. Okay, let me rephrase that. It does take DEF fluid, but it doesn't cycle through like the G series. G series will go through about 20 gallons in 12 to 14 hours, depending on how hard you run it. I go through about 45-50 gallons of fuel a day. That's on a 10-hour shift. 10 to 11 hours, 40 to 50 gallons, depending on how hard I run it. I know yesterday it was a 10.5-hour shift. I got 35 loads. I ran through 47 gallons. So today will be, hopefully, I'll get a little more. Back here getting loaded again. So like I said, I'm getting loaded. I got her in neutral. Got my temp brake on. Here is for your DEF and shit. So every once in a while at the end of every shift you'll click it up and it'll do its regen, which basically cycles the DEF through. I'll go through these here in a second once I get out of here. The big red one is your emergency kill switch. So say it catches on fire or something, you just hit that red button and everything shuts down. I mean, it's got a switch in there, so when you hit that button, it's got a switch from the batteries. Now this truck has 4 batteries, just regular car batteries. I don't know how they wire that. I have no idea, to tell you the truth, but it's got 4 12 volts. I guess they do like pair 2 up and then pair the other 2 up, so you got 2 24 volts. But I'm not entirely sure. But I know when you hit that, it shuts the engine off, and it's got a disconnection switch for all the electronics. So when you hit it, it disconnects, like it shuts down the battery. No juice from the battery can get to any of the electronics. It's got an electric fuel pump. It shuts that off. No fuel is being moved at all. It stops literally everything. There's a few differences between the F series and the G series. The main thing is the DEF system. So on this side, in the G series, you don't have this automatic idle for when you're dumping, and you don't have your regen button because they're constantly cycling DEF fluid through their exhaust system. And on the other side, hold on a second, y'all. Now on the other side, Down at the bottom, you have all your air controls here, your air conditioner and your heater. Appearance-wise, the difference is they have bigger mirrors. The top ones are bigger, the bottom ones are the same. But you can electronically control those just like you can in a car. Up, down, left, right. You can do your left one and your right one. I can only control the top one. I can't control the bottom one. I have to do those manually. But, I mean, it's simple. You just open your window, you can reach out there and move them if you have to. Below that, I've got heated mirrors. They do the top and the bottom, which is really nice. The switch next to it, this one right here, is basically just the brightness on your dash. So, pretty fancy. G-Series have those. The G-Series does not have the electronic mirrors or the heated mirrors. Now, these three switches are for your lights. So this first one on the left, hold on. This first one on the left is just your in-cab lights. One click. Second click is just your basic headlights and your running lights on the outside. Your middle switch is one click up, just does your work lights on the bottom and the grill. Your second click, I've got two lights, one here and one here for work lights on the outside of the cab. The second click turns those on. The third one, hold on a second. Dozer man's looking at me like I'm all kinds of fucking weird. I know I'm weird. Look at this man, look. He's all kinds of fucked up. Fucking goofball. I had that really zoomed in. I'm gonna let this bed down. That's a G model, same thing. Mine does not have the blinking strobe light on the top. See, like I said, it turns red, and you've also got an indication light here. So you slam on the brakes, it goes back to green. Like I said right here, if there's pressure on the brakes, that green symbol will show up. This third switch, I've got two working lights on the back of the cab. So the first switch turns them on only when you put it in reverse. The second time you flip it up, turns them on the whole time you're running. So I run with every single one of my lights on. I do have a working light right over my back axle, which is right beside the backup camera. So when I put it in reverse, that light comes on automatically. There's no turning it on or off. Now you can go into the system here and change that to where it's always running, but we don't ever do that, because that way, even in broad daylight, you can't hear, like say I'm right behind another truck that's getting loaded and the hoe operator, the excavator operator, needs him to back up just a little because he can't reach them. Then when he puts it in reverse, that light comes on. I know that if he gets too close, that's just, you know, for me to see, hey, he's starting to back up, I might need to back up too. So if it's always running and he puts it in reverse, I can't tell because it's always on. So that's why we run them like that. I'm pulling down here. Here's the job. I don't know if y'all can see that well, but there's a huge ass job here. This is just 92 or 93 acres right here that we're working on. Got 3 warehouses going here. Right now, currently on this job, we have 7 off-road dump trucks. 6 of them are A25G models, and this one is the 7th one. It's an A25F model. and it's the only one on the job, and I'm lucky enough to get it. I like this one. It's a 2016 model. 4 of the A25Gs are 2017, and then 4 of them are 2017s, and then the other 2 are 2018s. The other truck that y'all just saw a minute ago was a 2018. We lease all of our equipment except for our GPS bulldozers, which those are D6N Caterpillar bulldozers. We buy those. It's just cheaper. So on the dash here, I'm gonna act like I'm texting on my phone. On the dash here, you have your coolant temperature. You can't really see it because of the light, but you have your coolant temperature and your fuel, and then you have your miles per hour, how fast you're going. You have your clock, your dump bed, the percentage grade you're on. So right now it's 3% down is what I'm going on. My gear is in neutral. It's 88 degrees outside at almost 10 o'clock. And then you have your RPM, and then you have your, on the bottom is your back 2 axle, your temperature, and then that's your front axle temperature. And that's about it. Now over here on 0, you click 0, it pops up. I've been running for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I've went 19.58 miles. I've hauled 17 loads. So in a little over 3 hours, I've used 15.5 gallons of fuel. So that's that. And that is the 2016 A25F series off-road dump truck. Dozer man, that's a Cat D6K low wide track. And I'm getting loaded by a Volvo 350 EL with beaver tail teeth. So there you go, guys. That's it.